However, a critic of this view may say,
In the end, your arguments seem to stand entirely on the inadequacies of the relativistic charge. Can you even give a positive argument for universal human rights, or, for that matter, a positive argument for why we should care about the most marginalized, as you clearly do?
our response is that we admit, so far, we have provided a negative argument. Namely, that universal human rights are not culturally insensitive nor culturally imperialistic. We have yet to provide a positive basis for these rights. We argue that the burden of proof rests not with us to defend universal human rights, but rather it lies with those who seek to deny these rights. The burden of proof rests with those who believe it justifiable to harm, or at least not protect, marginalized groups. This is because we believe that, when you really sit down and think about it, there is an inescapable sense of human dignity and respect inherent within every person on this earth. Out of this intuitive respect and dignity comes a robust and defensible concept of human rights. The fact that the United Nations passed a Universal Declaration of Human Rights attests to this shared value of humanity.
This all comes with the caveat that this intuition, which leads us to assert a fundamental level of dignity and respect inherent in every human, may be no more than a particular culturally constructed conception of humanity. But even so, we hope our presentation has shown that the naysayers who assert that any attempt at universal human rights is culturally imperialistic and insensitive fail in their charge. The United Nations has established a value of respect and human dignity with the UDHR. Some thinkers have attempted to assail this concept, charging it to be insensitive imperialistic, but we argue that these charges fail. Thus, the burden of proof remains with the naysayers who wish to tear down a robust conception of human rights, not with those who champion these rights.